I feel like I'm disorganized this morning. It's because I got caught with the shrimp, cleaning the shrimp. So today I'm gonna try to uh, do this on Instagram as well, and we will see how that works. First time trying to go on Instagram. Buenos dias. Buenos dias. Go live. Oh. It says I have to use a streaming software. Okay, I may not be able to do this, okay? I should have tried to figure it before I started. Copy stream key. I don't even know what that is. Alright. Okay, I was hoping, so that's not gonna work. I'll figure it out later. Hello, everybody. Good morning, Julie, Greta, Deborah. Okay, I am in the process of finish cleaning this, the shrimp. So hang on, I gotta turn my AC on. Mama feels warm this morning. Oh, it is on. Alright, so I bought this shrimp and the young man deveined it for me. You know, they cleaned it. And I thought I was home free. But when I'm looking at it, you know, they take the poop line out of here. But when I look inside, there's a mama poop line. So I'm like, oh, I gotta get that out. I am not eating poop. No, no, no. No. So we are taking the mama poop line out. Nasty. I guess that's why I don't use shrimp a lot. And of course, you know, they told us before that shrimp had a lot of cholesterol. So that was one reason. I usually don't eat shrimp, but when I go home, there is a place that cooks the best. I don't know if they fry it or what they do with it. And then they have a sauce to dip it in that is divine. What do they call it again? I forgot the name of the place. You see the poop? Can't eat that. It looks kind of dark, so you may not see it. But trust me, we are cleaning shrimp. I don't know if you know that about me, but I'm a little bit, I get grossed out quite easily. Ooh. You know, that dark line, So that's why when I go somewhere and I eat fried shrimp, I'm always wondering, did they take the poop out? Of course, if it's fried, does it better, right? But, yep, this, it goes, no, no can do. Not in Maggie's kitchen. No, ma'am. If I'm gonna have it, it's gonna have to be clean. Whew. So how are you ladies doing today? I had a good night's sleep. I did not go to Carnival last night. After I finished with my 2 classes, I was like, I don't feel like it. I could hear the rumble of all the noise, but I was in my home. I sat on the patio, and when I couldn't stand the boom, 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 I got back in. But once I closed my door, my glass doors, I didn't hear anything. All right, so make sure when you're cooking your shrimp, the line in the back, you see that long black line? You gotta take it out, okay? That's the poop line. That's where the poop gets recorded, stored. So like I said, when you fry anything, you kind of kill it, but I'm still feeling kind of, no. So I take the few minutes it takes to get rid of it, and I'm eating. Look at that. Do you guys see this? Ew. I'm not doing it. And it's not something a machine can do. I saw somebody design like a little hook that you could, and it pulls it. That's good. So on both sides of the shrimp, you have the poop line. You got to get rid of it, okay? That's what Maggie's telling you to do. We eat good. I have to tell people, I've had food poisoning once in my life from going to a Chinese restaurant in New York City on Broadway. I got so sick. Look at this. Oh my God, that's so disgusting. Ugh. And if you think that frying something kills the germs, you would be wrong. Because I had some chicken wings and I got so sick. My stomach was torn up. I was in the bathroom. It smelled horrible. And I was in a room with my kids and my husband. It was not pretty. I didn't get to the point where I was on the couch and I couldn't get out, but it was horrible. So I think that was the last time I ate Chinese food. from a commercial place. I'm like, no, we're not doing that. But here in Panama, I have not been sick once. You can drink the water. The water is safe. But I boil my water. This is the habit I got into when I was in South Africa, because we couldn't drink the water. And then some of the kids, some of the young people, they give him tablets and stuff and bleach to put in their water. I said I didn't need all that. I just boiled it for like 2 minutes. So now, here in Panama, that's what I do. I have my decanter. I boil my water, and then I fill a pitcher. And that's what I drink. Well, one time I experimented with the 5-gallon big thing you put on the counter, or you can put it on a machine. Look at that. Yes, poop line. And I tried it one time, but then it's heavy. You have to bring it in, and then you have to pay for the bottle, and then everything. So I only got one time, and I'm like, that's too much. Of course, you can have water delivered here in Panama. They have, they bring you like 2 or 3 depending on what you order. And then I even bought the thing that you push to get the water out. I still have it, but I haven't bought another one of those 5 or 8 gallon thing. You know, I try to keep my life as simple as I possibly can. Shoot. Oh, I'm totally grossed out. Almost done. Sorry, ladies. I could have done it before, but I wanted you to see. You see that line? I don't know if you can see because the light is not that good. But I just make a little slit on the side of it and just kind of pull it out. Because I am not eating poop line, fried or otherwise. And like I told you, I got sick from eating fried chicken. So don't believe that if you fry something, you're killing everything. Nope. Wow, look at this line of poop. Every single shrimp baby will be nice and clean. All right, and then I'll tell you what we're doing. And Greta's going to be excited because we're going to be doing Swiss chard 2 ways. We're going to make a poke bowl, and then we're going to make the Swiss chard. We're going to make a salad and a poke bowl. Is it poke or poke? I don't know. Poke. I think it's poke. VIP, VIP, hey. You know, I'm not a Bad Bunny fan, but I can dig that song. Selfie, selfie, yeah. VIP, VIP. My God, everybody's losing their pearls still over that halftime show. And the one who was like, there was nothing in English. Oh my goodness. People just, they're not even embarrassed going online and saying all this stuff. Alright. 3 more to go. So this is where I bought 2 pounds, or 3 pounds of shrimp. And when he said he could clean it for me for $1, I was like, oh, please do. Because that's my reason, my number 1 reason for not buying shrimp. I do not take the time to do all that. That's labor intensive. And I don't believe in just buying everything frozen just because it's more convenient. Yep. 2 more. Whew. Gotta take the poop out. Ooh, poop line. Yes. Oh, my goodness. So when you eat my food, you know it's clean. Okay? I eat most of my food and I know it's clean. So I'm trying to come up with ideas for my next Fridays at Maggie's. It's coming, not this week, but next week. Oof. All right, and I need some tissues to grab this. Oh my gosh. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's so gross. Ooh, that's gross. All right. Selfie, selfie. All right. Line. We're gonna clean our shrimp, but they're beautiful, aren't they? Look at this. So we're gonna cook the whole thing, but we're gonna split it. We're gonna do, okay, let me tell you in a second what we're gonna do. It's gonna be so exciting. And I'm like, yeah, I wanna cook Swiss chard for Greta. Well, we don't just wanna do a salad. We're gonna do a poke and a salad using ingredients that I have in my house. Now remember, when I went to the store earlier this week, I thought I was gonna make a curry. Curry chickpeas. No. But you all decided Swiss chard. Okay. So let's do it. Oh. Beautiful and clean. Yes. VIP, VIP. Make sure everything is clean. No shells. But sometimes a little shell would sneak in there. Alright. So now, I'm gonna wash my hands. Remember, your best tool, your hands. But they also could kill you because it carries all kinds of germs. So, you know, as a nurse, we have to do all that. You know how they used to tell us? I used to have to what we call check people out. My nurses, my assistant, and wash their hands. We used to have what we call yearly competition. And this was one of them. You know, you see the surgeons do this? Yep, because your hands carry germs. Oh my gosh. And when you see those sanitizers, I've said that before, that does not take the place of good hand washing. Okay? So the sanitizers just tie you up until you can find soap and water. Soap and water. Alright. Let us go. I'm going to turn the camera and come with me to our usual spot. All right. So, as I said, I decided we're going to do a poke, and then we're going to do a salad. All right. So, I'm going to use this bowl for the poke, and I'm going to use this one for the salad. But what I want to do for the poke, I want to do a base of a little bit of rice, not a lot, and then put the Swiss chard on top, and then have the different spots for the poke. So we need to start the rice right now, because that's probably the only thing that's going to take a little time. Everything is going to be more of arranging, right? Okay. So, agua. Un poquitito de agua, because I don't want a lot of rice here. Last night I had pasta. I looked in the house. I had eaten the sardines and I was like, I didn't want to cut the papaya yet. So I had pasta. And I was like, it was so good. I didn't even have, what is it? Marinara. I didn't even have marinara, but you know, you squeeze a little bit of tomato paste and you're good. So a little salt for the rice. Poquito de aceite, which is oil, aceite. Now, someone told me in the comment that I can find jasmine rice in another store because I couldn't find any in my store. So we're going to do that. And I do have some rice here. So, but no. Well, let me just rinse it now and get it ready. So I don't have to worry about it because this pot is very thin, so it's going to cook really fast. And then we'll season our shrimp. And I'm going to saute some, and then I'm going to put some in the oven. The one for the poke, we're going to put in the oven, and I'll show you how I kind of do like a rub for it. It's going to be really good. And then, and Julie, I know you're vegan, right? So forget the shrimp. But you certainly can have Swiss chard. I was going to get some avocado, aguacate, but, you know, it's still not in season because it's always a guessing game whether it's going to be good or bad. So I didn't. And remember, for your rice, it's a 2-to-1 ratio. 2 parts water or liquid and 1 pot rice. A little bit less for couscous and definitely less for quinoa and definitely less for couscous. VIP, hey. And I have some tea that I need to get to. Hibiscus tea with, I'm gonna put some lemon, and I have some fresh ginger. Okay, I have my rice, and I boiled my chickpeas last night. You know, I soaked them last night, and then in the morning, it was like 15-20 minutes, they were done. Because what you don't want to do is overcook your chickpeas, right? Actually, I forgot to put some aromatics. I just threw some bay leaves in there this morning. But when you soak them overnight, they're nice and plump, like what you see in the can. But why would you buy a can when you can do this? It's so easy. We're going to add chickpeas to the salad, and I'm going to roast them, and I'm going to toss them with my herb oil, and then dust them with turmeric and curry powder. So good. So I always soak my chickpeas overnight. But I put the whole bag in here because what I was initially going to do is to curry. So after I finish the salad, when you guys go off, I'm going to make my curry because that's what I'm going to eat for the next couple of days. So I'm getting some ginger for my tea. Fresh ginger is abundant here, and I love it. And my tea. You see, I still have a bag full. Sometimes when I don't have time to use them all, I just peel them, and then I put them in baggies, put them in the freezer, and then I can just throw them in my smoothies. Yep. All right. Well, you've seen so many of the funny videos from the from the Bad Bunny. I see all these white folks doing that. I was like, oh, this is so cool, you know. At least we have a conversation, but you know, as Americans, we have short memories. You know, they're probably not going to talk about it after a few weeks. It's going to be like history. All right, I'm going to need this little plate. So for the poke, we are going to do the rice, the Swiss chard. Then I'm going to glaze some. I'm going to julienne some carrots. We're going to do carrots. We're going to do edamame on the side. I wish I had beets for a pop of color, which I don't. So, you know, if you don't have it, I don't worry about it. And then what else do I have? I have some Roma tomatoes we can put on the side. I talk about boiled egg, but I don't think for poke. No, not even the salad. I don't, you know, eggs tend to be messy. So that's the plan, to make a beautiful, and then you have a curry dusted shrimp. Gonna give it a pop of gold, and we have red. Oh, yeah, I could also do some julienne peppers because I do have the tri peppers. That would be nice. Okay. You know, I think I was in the shower last night and I was like, yeah, why don't we just do the double poke? Do a poke and then a salad. Yes, yes, yes. I told you I'm only creative with food, right? So believe you me when I tell you that, because I can't create anything else. And we're doing some lime for my tea, and then I am ready. Now tea I can have without sugar, but coffee, not so much. Alright, so let us well actually, yeah, we're gonna season the shrimp without any lemon juice, because the lemon juice would start cooking it, but we can put some of the spices in there. Very watery. All right, so I'm gonna season the shrimp, all the shrimp, and I don't want to be touching it, so I need to get my tongs. All right, so a little bit of olive oil. What is that? Oh, that's cilantro. Oh, sitting there. Didn't see you. All right. So I got some regular paprika because, you know, I like smoked paprika, but it's not for everyday use. Certain recipes. My rice is looking good, making sure it doesn't burn. Thing is, not everyone wants to or is ready to retire. What about an emphasis on single, what is that? Single women living and working? Okay, well, that's fine. You can create sisterhood any way you want with any group, right? Just because we say single women retiring, you don't have to be retired. You could just be working. And I know there are a lot of groups that have sisterhood. I know we did have one in Orlando, women something. My cousin is part of that. All right. So the rice is good. And I'm trying to not let it have a lot of crust. So I'm cleaning the bottom. Remind me of risotto. You know, I'm watching this Master Chef or Master Class or Master Chef Colombia celebrities. They have a bunch of people who are, you know, artists, singers, actors. And to see them where they started and where they are now, it's a nice show to watch after I watch the news at night. So, and I mean, they got real creative. All right, so we put adobo, we put paprika, we need fresh ground pepper. I need to get some hot sauce. Somebody asked me about hot sauce. And you know, seafood doesn't need a whole lot of seasoning, all right? We don't want to overpower it with seasoning, but thyme is always good. It's a good equalizing spice. I'm gonna put that in there and that's it. And then a little bit of salt. You know, I forgot to put my my herb oil, but that's okay. A little bit of salt. Remember, salt is not your enemy. Don't keep believing the hype. So I need to put a little bit of garlic in here, but I have to have garlic. Ooh, yes. Buenísimo, muy bonito. All right, garlic. VIP. Hey, you see that song is stuck in my head. Ooh, I got all my herbs today. Ooh, I feel like I have all my children here. All my children. We have onions. Caramelized onion, but nah, that take too long. We're not gonna do that. ¿Dónde está el ajo? Garlic, where are you? And if you tell me I don't have garlic, I'm going to be so upset with myself. It's so strong. Peppers. All right, y'all. No way that's all the garlic I have in the house. No way. Wow. No way. Looks like I'm running out of garlic, which is a cardinal sin, okay? And I passed by it and I'm like, no, I got plenty. Because usually I got plenty of garlic here. Okay. Well, when you're doing shrimp and stuff, you don't need to load it up with garlic, but you need some. All right. And again, like I said, when you are seasoning, be careful not to overpower any dish, because the natural taste of whatever protein that you have, you want to be careful you don't overpower it. Okay, now I'm feeling really warm. Hang on, guys. Ugh. All right, I had to turn the other AC unit on. I don't use AC a lot, but when I'm cooking, oh yeah, I'm expending energy. All right, here is the garlic. That is plenty. And that's all. Oh yeah, we're gonna put the turmeric and the curry when I'm just about ready to put it in the oven. I'm gonna turn the oven on. Very nice. So we're gonna let that sit here for a minute. Grand Rising. Hola. Who is that? Okay, are we cooking here? I'm not sure where the conversation's going. I'm seeing thousands of dollars. We are cooking here, Auntie. All right. Got the rice. It's not done yet, but not done. All right, so what I want to do right now, we're going to cook thinking about poke. So we're going to just lightly saute the peppers. Not onions. I don't think I want to put onions in the poke. And then once we put the peppers on the side, we're gonna do the carrots. We're gonna julienne them and caramelize them a little bit with a little brown sugar, and that will be good. And then we're going to put the edamame. You know how I do edamame? I just put them in hot water and blanch them. That's what we call that. Oh, they started already. You can hear them. Oh, I'm gonna put these in my curry. But these we're just gonna do just this much. I think it will give the poke a nice little color since I don't have beets. So that's gonna be perfect. So we're gonna julienne these. We don't want them to be cooked. We're just gonna be, I don't know what you call that, lightly sauteed. And of course we're gonna julienne, so they're all gonna have to look the same. Julienne means like nice little strands, right? So you can have all sizes of juliennes. But when you are cooking, you want to be sure you're cooking everything in scale, right? Now we do have the edamames that not the same size, but everybody knows edamame is edamame. I can't split them in half. And we're gonna do the same thing with the carrots. We're gonna julienne the carrots as well. Oh yes. That's why when I didn't have my chef's knife, listen, I felt stripped and I just could not find a good chef's knife here. I mean, I guess I could have ordered some online. All right, so okay, let me use a bit of my herb oil for this one. Not a lot of oil. And just a little bit of garlic. Not a lot. And then we have to work on the dressing, because when you make a poke, which is going to be good for the salad also, you want to have a nice dressing to put on top. And I have a little bit of tahini, so we're gonna use that. Ooh, it's gonna be so good. And I have some honey Dijon left. I don't know how I'm gonna get it down, but when there's a will, there's a way, remember. All right, don't wanna burn the garlic because this pot is very shallow. As soon as it's fragrant, you smell it, you're ready to use it. Put that in here. And this one, I'm going to squeeze a little bit of lemon juice. Okay. So this is just lightly sauteed. This is for the poke bowl, not the salad. And the salad, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to use green peas for the salad. I got some green peas. So that's what you do. I use what I have, and I have my creative whatever comes out. That's when I feel like I'm in the zone, okay? No hate. This is my hibiscus tea with ginger and lime. All right, we're gonna put our edamame in here. Now remember, that's just one bowl. So that's that. And then once the edamame is done, we'll do the same for the green peas. All right, so this should be done. Lightly sauteed, right? Because you want like, it's almost like crudité. You want it a little bit with a bite. Oh, it looks so pretty. I wish I could have separated them. I might do that. Okay. So now we're gonna go for the carrots. The carrots, I want to caramelize the carrots, which means I'm gonna put a little butter, a little bit of brown sugar. My brown sugar is very light. All right. Okay. And then we cover this, we put it to the side. And that's how it's going to kind of sort of cook, right? All right, let me get the carrots. Eight. I knew that halftime show was going to cause controversy. I just knew it. Whew. Okay, so thinking of the size of the peppers, so that's what we need. So now, we're going to slice the carrot down. Watch your fingers. Okay. Get one more. Okay. So we're gonna slice the carrots and julienne them. one. Yes. All right. So we got our carrots. Carrots only need a little bit of butter and some brown sugar. That's how you caramelize anything. If you're vegan, you could just put them in a little bit of oil and just toast them. You can do that. A little bit of brown sugar. And you know a little bit of sugar is not gonna kill you, right? It's when you make it a lifestyle, right? You're eating your donuts and cakes and things that are sweet and the sodas. Oh my goodness, yes. The soda will get you. Now I had a party here and somebody brought, one of the sisters brought, she brought some Coca-Cola cherry. Well, they're still up there waiting for the next party because I can't drink that. You know, when you're old, you got to protect whatever you have left. All right. I need to put the shrimp in. Let's put the turmeric and the curcuma, which is the turmeric in Spanish, curcuma, and curry powder. Oh my gosh, we gotta put the chickpeas in there too. All right. Need more turmeric. You gotta let the sugar has to melt in here. All right, more turmeric. Now, I did tell you that this guy was taking mega doses of turmeric, and then he started having signs of liver damage. You know, getting he was getting jaundice, and then his doctor was like, "What are you doing? Is your liver acting out?" And then it turns out that he had been, you know, taking mega doses of turmeric. So you have to let the sugar melt in the butter. All right, so now we're gonna put the shrimp in. Oh yeah, it's ready. All right, I'm gonna put it to the side for a little bit. Let's put the shrimp in. So we're gonna use half the shrimp. Oh, usually I dust them with a little bit of cornmeal. Let's forget it. Usually I do cornmeal and a bit of flour. Too much work. Let's just put them in. And then the rest of them, we're just gonna do on the stove. Yes. Maybe I'll do the stove one. Well, you know what I can do? I can just dust them while they're in here. I can do that. This is a sign of a good cook when you can. I'm not saying I'm good. I know I'm a good cook, but you can think on your feet. You see what I'm saying? So if one thing doesn't work, you're like, oh, we can do that. You think on your feet and you improvise. All right. So we're doing our carrot's gonna take a few minutes. In the meantime, I'm gonna make my little dusting mix here and just sprinkle on my shrimp, which is what I wanted to do. Harina de traigo flour. Eso, no mucho. And I'm just putting cumin and turmeric on this one. This is a brand new turmeric. I couldn't find a bigger one. I'm hunting for a bigger size. Because I use turmeric a lot in my smoothies. I put it in food. Alright. And pepper. And maybe a bit of adobo, not a lot. Now I need some dry herbs. I already put thyme. Let's do oregano this time. Oregano. Un poquitito eso. Alright. So, and the cornmeal, because I don't have cornmeal, but I did buy some polenta, I'm substituting cornmeal with polenta. Un poquito. Eso. And a little bit of panko. Ooh, yes. Ooh, that smells amazing. The carrot. You don't have to put anything else on that carrot because that butter does its work. All right, that's done. A little bit of panko. Poquitito. Okay, where's the shrimp? So I could have toasted this, but because I forgot to do it, I'm just gonna sprinkle it on. And that's good enough. You improvise, okay? Don't be afraid. All right? Woo. Perfecto. So now that goes in the oven. We're gonna take the carrots. Oh, that looks so good. We're gonna put it here. That's gonna go in our poke bowl. I'm going to rinse the pan. Well, actually, I like to cook the shrimp in the cast iron, so we're going to use that instead. So let's see what else we need. We need to do the green peas for our salad. Cook the shrimp. Yeah. In the cast iron, the middle size. And my cast iron is still looking good. So here we're gonna put, I kind of don't like to use them too much because it tends to splash and I don't like that. but we're gonna use a little bit of our, this is still my oil from the poached tuna. Still flavorful, still good, and poquitito. But when you are cooking shrimp, usually you mix the oil with a little bit of butter. So again, if you're vegan, you can omit that. You see what I mean about splashing? That's what I don't like. But I like the texture. Alright. Put our shrimp down. I'm cooking all of them because, you know, I can use them later on. The culecos, the spraying of the people, that's what they're doing today for Carnival. And tonight, I'm like, you know, there's a movie I want to see. I might just go to the movie and then check out Carnival later. I like to do some, I want to see what the mall looks like during Carnival. All right. Then we're gonna start cleaning our Swiss chard, because you know shrimp doesn't take a long time to cook, right? As soon as it turns pink, it's done. But when you're doing this, you gotta make sure you turn both sides. Our green peas, where's my edamame? You take the edamame out and then put the green peas in there. It's ready. All right. Yeah, this shrimp, we're going to strain the edamame in here. Alright, edamame is ready. So now we're going to get the water going for the green peas. Somebody forgot to tell me to put the chickpeas in the oven. Good morning. You coming to Coronado 1st of March. Wow. Trying to understand the dry season. What to wear. Very summery clothes. And a jacket if you want to go somewhere. Not a jacket, a light wrap. If you want to go somewhere in the evening. Yeah, Coronado Beach area is usually warm. But when you go into a, a place, let's say to a restaurant or you go to a show or something, it might be a little bit, cool. So I have lots of wraps that I take, but otherwise it's just casual clothing. This dry season has been anything but, because it's been very cool in the evening. We have had rain, which is very unseasonal. So just relax, You know, you're not gonna die of a heat stroke or anything like that. It's been very pleasant. All right, so this one is good. The rice is good. So now we are blanching our green peas and cover it up. Let it steam. We forgot the chickpeas. Julie, you didn't tell me the chickpeas. You didn't remind me of the chickpeas. It's like, I gotta get these chickpeas in the oven. All right. Again, the chickpeas. We can even add some to the poke bowl. So I'm gonna cook a little bit, and then the rest of it is gonna be for the salad. I think that's enough, right? Beautiful. I absolutely adore chickpeas, okay? So my shrimp should be done, because what I don't want is to overcook the shrimp. Never, ever, ever. That is a cardinal sin if you do that. Let's put our shrimp. Did you see it? Yes. Ooh, I'm gonna taste this one. I'm one of those cooks. I like to taste my food, so don't be upset. And you have to taste your food. Come on. How do you know if it tastes good? Once the shrimp turns pink, it's ready, okay? That's why when I see people making like a gumbo or something, and they put the chicken, they put the shrimp, and you know, we chefs are sitting like here like this. No, don't do that. The shrimp goes in last. It's almost like your herbs, right? Because if it gets overcooked, it turns to rubber, it gets tough. Same like steak. When you overcook steak, it turns. All right, so we're gonna wash this Swiss chard. Let's see, and then kind of everything is gonna be ready. We're just gonna have to talk about plating, right? And what we need to dust the shrimp in here. Let's see. Oh my God. OMG. Wow. Herb oil. Wow. Now see, that's a danger. I probably can eat this thing sitting down. So good. I don't eat blend food. I'm sorry. If you're gonna give me blend food, no, no bueno. I don't do it. Little cumin. Oh, that's another thing I need. I need a big thing of cumin. And curry powder. Now this one, I'm gonna go generous because I want the orange color. Okay? And then turmeric. You know, you can buy a whole 1 pound of fresh turmeric for like 65 cents. Ooh, yeah. Okay. Thank you. A little bit more curry. Okay. Now we're gonna pop it in the oven. And for the shrimp in here, same thing. I gotta make sure I turn it over. All right. Let's get the Swiss chard. So there was no meat on my board, so there is no cross-contamination. Oh, and I found an apple. We can put this one in our salad. Yes, do that. But I'm gonna have to put it in a little bit of in a bath that has some vinegar or lime juice, so it doesn't brown. You know, apple is a good addition, especially the Smith, what do we call them? Granny Smith apples are very good in salads. I love apple in my salad. And you know, you can put raspberry and strawberry. Some people get kind of put out by that, but to each his own. I mean, you can just say you don't like something, but some people go out of their way to make it sound like it's like you're committing the cardinal sin. And I'm like, you don't have to like it, but I'm gonna do irregular cuts because I don't want it to be like square. I like the guy who did the Bad Bunny. They had the Bad Bunny production on the right, and he was on the left with a bunch of people. I think they were waving like this is a lettuce or something. It was so funny. It was so cute. I tell you. And you know, every time you think you've seen the worst of human being, they manage to surprise me. I don't know how, because that's crazy. All right, so don't buy the red apples. Usually the green apples are the best if you want to put them in your salad. Okay. All right. Woo. All right. I won't put it in a bath, but I'm just gonna squeeze a little bit of lime juice on top of it to keep it from browning. Or maybe I should have cut it later. Oh well, we'll see. Beautiful. Okay. All right. Let's turn the shrimp. Looks pretty, doesn't it? Oh, they look pretty. But we don't want them so pale. Those are nice and pink. Ooh, gorgeous. And that was 3 pounds for $10. So I think that was a good price for shrimp. And then they cleaned it for $1, but I give him 2, you know. I was so appreciative of him taking the poop out, but I still ended up having to take more poop out, but that's okay. Or you could fry your shrimp. I was hoping I had some coconut flakes to do like coconut shrimp, but I didn't, so. I did the next best thing, right? Okay. Let's get the Swiss chard. And then we can plate. Ooh. So exciting. All right. This needs to go. All right. And I don't know if you guys saw me, this whole bag of Swiss chard was $1.05. $1.05. It's like, yeah, I'll take one or two, please. Acelga. Acelga. Acelga is Swiss chard en español. Now, I like the part that's red also, so I'm going to make sure I got some of those. Because you, ooh, look at this beauty. Oh, it's red in the middle. Nice. Oh, okay. Okay, so we're gonna have Swiss chard in 2 plates, but you know my plates are not that big, so we don't have to go crazy. Looking for a good looking one. Oh, this one. I like this one. And this one. I think that's enough. Because you know, I'm going to cut and take the stem off because I don't want the hard part, right? Okay. So I can, and also when I'm making the curry later on, I can put the rest of this in here and save the spinach because this is gonna go bad quicker, so I need to cook it fast. Ooh, almost lost my Swiss chard. Okay. All right. This is this little drink from Panama. It's called Malta Vigor. I'm getting a hang of it. Your plate is there. You're welcome. You know what? I tolerate it a little bit because they use the brown sugar that we call raspadura here for that. All right. We take the stem out, and then we're going to chop it in small pieces. Take the stem out. Yep, that's good. Stem out. Now, you know, what I used to have at the restaurant was a lettuce dryer. It was a big red thing. You chop the lettuce, you rinse it, and then you move this, and then it just dries the lettuce. I think I've seen like portable ones, but that's one more gadget for me. And I'm not collecting gadgets anymore. I refuse to, so I'll be drying the lettuce myself. The Swiss chard. But when you're putting it in your stew, Greta, if you're doing a one pot, you don't have to worry about those. Because actually there's a lot of vitamins in those. Alright. This one. But for salad, it's a little bit not very aesthetic. So, I mean, you don't want to be munching on some raw pieces of, you know. So, alright. One more. And so, okay, we're good. So now we are going to chop and then rinse. So I like to kind of roll them, kind of like when you're making, you're cooking collard greens. It's the same principle. You don't want the pieces to be too small. We don't have collard greens here, but I heard this gentleman who owns a restaurant said that there is somebody who said he's gonna grow it for him because he owns a restaurant. And I'm like, ooh, you know what? I don't think that's enough. My shrimp don't dry on me here. No dry shrimp allowed. Okay, that's good. All right. But the chickpeas can cook a little more because they need to be, it's almost like you're trying to make croutons, right? They need to cook. Need salt. Okay. Yeah. I think I need a little bit more of the Swiss chard. Not enough. You know, for $1.04 or $1.05, we can have more Swiss chard. I don't know what artist they had playing for Carnival this time, but I'm gonna stop by tonight and I'll show you around a little bit. But what I know, they have a lot of children's rides, lots. They had go-karts and all kinds of things, and the kids were having a ball, and the teens. I think the Carnival is, the teens enjoy it the most. They get wet, and a lot of them, sadly, even when I went to the Mil Polleras, they take the opportunity to drink alcohol. And if you know what alcoholism is, some people have an affinity for it. And once they take a few drinks, they're gonna be hooked. And that's a no bueno kind of thing, because alcohol makes people do all kinds of crazy stuff. A lot of domestic violence in Panama related to drinking and no bueno. All right, let's rinse this. Oh, it's beautiful. Shake it, shake it, shake it. Relax. All right, we bathed the Swiss chard in 3 baths. All right, so now we have it in the coriander, to try to get rid of any water because we want it to be as dry as possible. But it looks nice and fresh. I'll take that any day over lettuce. I don't know why I don't like lettuce, but I just don't like lettuce. Alright, we are ready to plate. So we're gonna plate our, let's see, what time is it? Oh, hour and 20, so we're doing good. Alright, let's drain our green peas because we want to keep the color. So nice. Woo. Yes. Woo. Okay. So vamos a empezar con okay. So this is good. All right. So we have our poke bowl. This is where the magic happens, right? We have all our stuff. We just need to remember what goes in what bowl. All right. So this is for our salad. And this is for our poke. This one's for the poke. All right. Have our rice. And because we just, you know what, we should have put that rice in there before. So I'm just gonna stick it in the freezer for like 2 minutes. So the rice doesn't make my Swiss chard, you know, it's gonna be too hot. And then we can do the salad while it's cooling off. Listen to all the noise. I don't know if you guys can hear anything. And if my door was open, you would hear a lot of noise. But you know what? It is tolerable this year because they moved the stage south of me. And I am so grateful. All right, here is our rice. I'm going to put it in the fridge for a second. In the meantime, we will proceed with our salad. See? Oh, you know what? I forgot to do the dressing. We can't do that until we have our dressing. I need something a little deep to do the dressing. Okay. All right. I'm going to move the peas in here and use this thing to make our dressing. And our dressing is usually, I like to use red wine vinegar. A generous amount because we're going to have to need dressing for both the poke and the salad. So I'm putting a little bit of soy, not a lot. Poquitito. Generous amount of olive oil, but I have these herb oil in here, so I'm going to use a little bit of the herb oil. Try not to have too many of the rosemary in here because I don't want that to be in my salad. So we're gonna just stick the top, skim the top. Yes. Now I did not want to use the oil that has the tuna because, you know, you don't want that flavor in your. So, but then I need a little bit more of the olive oil. And I think I'm gonna put a little bit of white vinegar. Then we're gonna have to use quite a bit of lime juice. Okay? Then I'm gonna experiment today. I have some tahini sauce that I'm gonna try to use some of that, but I'm gonna put it in the microwave and loosen it up a little bit. Let's see. Maybe I don't need to. Oh, it's not so hard. Okay. I'm gonna put some tahini sauce, which is sesame seeds. And I'm going to try to get some of that Dijon mustard. I definitely need another jar, but go down. Dijon. You need Dijon for this kind of dressing, not regular mustard. Okay? So if you ask me how much of this, how much of that, well, that's going to be the problem. Okay? Then we're going to put some honey. And I do have honey. Ugh. And yes, it is sugar. But it's like when you make honey mustard dressing, same principle. Okay? And let's see, honey mustard dressing, salt, pepper, and we're gonna put some lime juice. Ooh. Oh yeah, chickpeas are done. I could smell it. Yeah. Okay, they're nice and ready. All right. Lime juice. So you can make your own dressing. Don't buy the bottled stuff. Now when you buy lime, make sure they don't have seeds and that they're soft, because otherwise they're really a pain to squeeze the juice out. All right. So I'm gonna start. I actually need my whisk. Ooh. Oh wow, it is so good. Okay. And this is not one of those dressing where you need to put herbs and stuff in it. Not this one. All right, I think I need to whip it a little bit more. So good. Maybe a little bit more honey. But it's tart enough. It doesn't need any more acid. But not tart. Just doesn't need more acid. I'm getting my words mixed up, huh? All right. Let me whip it some more. And then we are ready to plate. So if you just want to have some plain dressing around to use with your salads, just do olive oil, red wine vinegar, salt, pepper, and some dry herbs. That's all you need. Okay. All right. So I am ready now. Got our dressing here. All right. So for our salad, we're gonna use our Swiss chard. Beautiful Swiss chard. Ooh. I know Greta is happy. She loves Swiss chard. And we're going to use we're gonna mix the shrimp, okay? So we're gonna use some of the ones that we did on the stove. Then I'm gonna use a little bit of the ones that I did in the oven. Oh, that's so pretty. One more. Woo. Yes. And for our salad, we're gonna put some green peas in. All right. What else did I want to do? Put like some Roma tomatoes. And chickpeas. Well, you know, actually, let us dice the tomato. Oh, I don't have my little thing in front of me now to take the core out. But we can dice the tomato for the salad because we don't want them to look the same. We don't want our dishes to look the same. You know, tomatoes tend to be kind of wet, so you have to be careful when you're using it, depending on what you're using it for. And some chickpeas. So the chickpea now is gonna be like a garnish, and then you can mix it, right? Yes, oh, it's so pretty. That is so pretty. Oh. Okay, and then when you want to serve it, you just need to have a side of, I don't have really small dressing cups, but I'm gonna put this in the middle. Look at, you see the dressing, it's got a nice consistency, right? Ooh. That's why you whip it. When you whip it, it gives you that consistency. All right. I think our salad is ready. Look at that. Look how pretty that is. Right? Okay. So now the bowl is going to be the most fun part. All right. So our rice has cooled off. Okay. You put your right foot in, you put your right foot up, and you shake it all around. You do the hokey pokey and you turn your hands around. That's what it's all about. All right, okay. So we're gonna use our Swiss chard on one side, right? And on top of it, we're gonna put our chickpeas, and then everything else is gonna be on a side. Like we're gonna have our, I want it to be really fancy with the pimiento, the peppers, and put them, the colors together, not all mixed up, right? You got chefs who spend, you see them bent over trying to put everything, make everything looking nice, and you get a crick in your neck. And they're on their feet all day, right? That's a hard job. People don't realize that. So when you go to a restaurant and somebody cooks for you, appreciate it. It's a lot of work. Doesn't that look prettier when you put them all together than doing like a mix? Yes, I believe so. So we're gonna put the greens over here. Yes. Take your time and play with your food. Now the reason I can use my hands is because I wash my hands a lot. But if I was in a restaurant, well, they always wear gloves, okay? Thank you for liking the video and give it a thumbs up. I appreciate that. Okay, I think that's enough. More red. More yellow. So they can show up. Now the green doesn't show up that much because it's right there next to the Swiss chard, right? And then we have our caramelized carrots. And because it's got a little sweetness, so that's going to be like a contrast in taste. When they mix everything together, it's going to be nice. All right. Then we have our edamame. Edamame. Right over here. You've seen the poke bowls. The other day I went to Nation Sushi and my friend had a poke bowl. Oh, I forgot the apples for the salad. No bueno. Look at this. Now we got to put our shrimp. Ooh. Listen. When I tell you to play with your food, I mean it. I'm not playing. Instead of going to a casino, play with your food. You're going to say, oh, no, Maggie. I've never been to a casino, so I don't know what I'm talking about here, right? Okay. And then, wow. The shrimp is so good. That little bit of seasoning that we did took it to the next level. Okay? There is no reason for you to be eating bland food. No, senor. so warm. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna put some of our chickpeas right here. Oh my goodness. OMG. By Crocky, that's a beauty. Okay? I'm not just saying that, you guys saw me make it. We don't play with our food here. Let's put the rest of the edamame in here because we want everything to be at the same height. Oh my God. My God. Oh my goodness. He's our poke. Greta, this is for you. And then you come over here and you put the both of them. You know what? I'm gonna put some of that. I'm gonna put my apples in here. And then when you serve it, you put the dressing there. Look at that. This is worthy of a show. I'm just saying. I am just saying. Okay? So if I wanted to add apples to my salad, I can do that. You see the lime juice kept it from going brown, right? And I think it's a nice contrast. So I'm gonna make like a little bowl of mix everything for me so I can tell you how it tastes. So we have apples, I have a little bit of the peppers, chickpeas, Swiss chard. People are just having so much fun out there. Yeah. Oh my word. Green peas. And then I'm gonna put a little bit of the dressing on it for me. Wow. All right, guys. Now that you've admired my handiwork, let me tell you what it tastes like. You know, I just put Swiss chard, I have some shrimp, green peas, apple, a little bit of pepper left, and so, the dressing is perfect. Just the right amount of acidity, shrimp. Wow. All right, guys. Oh, Greta, you need to come over here so I can cook some for you. I feel bad. I know you love Swiss chard. You can replace the shrimp with chicken. Let's say you bought some, like a rotisserie chicken. Take the breast and then slice it nice and then put it on there. I mean, if you're trying to show it. But otherwise, what you need to worry most about is flavor, right? And even if you're eating at home, try to make your plate look varied, you know, multiple colors. And you're more likely to eat it. Smoked salmon is good too, absolutely. But remember, smoke anything is not healthy for you, because the smoking of the meat, it just changes the texture and it's not very healthy, okay? So don't have that a lot. You can have it sometimes. This is an amazing salad. And I'm not just saying that because, you know, I love my food. Well, the chickpeas just gives it the right crunch. Why have croutons when you can make chickpeas? You boil the chickpeas and you season it, stick it in the oven. You can put it on top of soups and salad. Don't go buy peppers from croutons. That's why all these folks, our folks who love to smoke meat every weekend, it's not good for your GI tract. No bueno. But if I say that, some of them cuss me out. I'm like, okay, whatever. You can take the donkey to the river, you can't make him drink. I cannot. Whenever I tell people something and they're like, oh, I'm like, okay, we're not going to argue over that, right? I know. Well, there's a lot of Swiss chard here in Panama, which is really weird. Because you can't have color green, but they have Swiss chard. But Swiss chard, I'd rather use it than use lettuce, so I'm happy. The dressing is just perfect. That tahini is good, and honey mustard. And then let's say you take the dressing I told you, you know, red wine vinegar, olive oil, salt, pepper, dry herb. Just add honey, tahini, and honey mustard. Whip it, and you have a dressing that goes with anything. Did you know green peas have a decent amount of protein? I didn't know that. So I like adding it to my salad now. Because I don't eat meat per se. Like this week I've had no meat. So I have to be thinking about protein intake, because as an older person, I want to keep my muscle tone. So I need to eat protein. Either plant or animal. Fish. So this is the last of my haul. Remember the haul I did when I went and bought a bunch of seafood? Well, the shrimp was the last one to go. But that salmon I told you, it wasn't salmon, but I like the texture of the fish. It reminds me of cod. So next time I go, I'm gonna get a big one, have them fillet it, and then bring the bones and the head for soups and use it like that. I bought another one that looked like kingfish. I didn't like that. And I don't really care for snapper because it's too bony. You just have too many bones. The only time I would eat it is if somebody fries it for me, and I'm not frying anything in my kitchen. I'm done. Oh, we did good today. I did good. I did good. A poke bowl. It's got rice at the bottom. And a salad. Kind of looks like a poke, but it doesn't have the rice at the bottom. What you do is you just mix everything and enjoy. All right, guys. Thank you for being with me. Have a beautiful day. Enjoy whatever you're doing. I told you I'm going to try to catch a movie and check out the carnival later on. All right. God bless you. Au revoir. Yeah. Yeah. Red snapper, if it's the fillet, yeah. But it's just have too many bones. And I think corvina we have here is a little meatier. I like corvina a lot. But if I go to the store, especially not to the restaurant, if they want to know if you want corvina or red snapper. Corvina or patago. Patago is red snapper. And here they have white snapper and red snapper. I didn't know that. Yeah. All right, Deborah, have a beautiful day. Thank you for being with me, guys. Don't forget to like the video, and I will see you tomorrow, you two ladies. I'll see you tomorrow for the workout. Don't forget to join the membership so you can work out with me, okay? We get to eat all this beautiful food, but we have to work out. All right? Au revoir. Bye.